Hi, my name is Noah Banis, and in this video essay I'll be examining institutional racism and the Academy Awards, also known as the Oscars. The Academy Awards has been and continues to be one of the most prestigious and recognized award shows in entertainment, but throughout its almost 100-year history, the awards have also provided a lot of insight into the racial politics and inequalities of the film industry over time. The Academy Awards are hosted by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, which is a nonprofit organization made up of over 1,000 movie industry professionals. In a 1940 journal, former executive secretary of the Academy, Donald Gledhill, referred to the Academy as an exclusive, invitational organization, with professional achievement as a requisite. It's the members of the Academy who nominate and select the winners of the awards each year, and as this other quote from Gledhill demonstrates, the awards were very influential around the world and created a standard for what was viewed as prestigious filmmaking. The early history of the Academy Awards and the filmmaking standards it set become rather problematic when considering the rampant racial discrimination and inequality prevalent in the film industry throughout most of its history, including the exclusion of black people for most of the 20th century. It was an era where executives, producers, and casting directors were exclusively white. A 2012 journal by Edna Quinn points out that racial minorities were represented in film with stereotypical portrayals that often catered to white audiences. And as Mark Cooper pointed out in 1998, races were clearly differentiated in early filmmaking practices. As I'll demonstrate throughout this video, the Academy has always been no exception to racism in the film industry. The predominantly white and male voting body has been historically biased. Since 1929, over 3,000 Academy Awards have been awarded, but less than 100 of those recipients were black. It's also worth noting that winners of Academy Awards usually receive a large salary increase on future projects. The picture on the left shows 9 actors who have won the Academy Award for Best Actor at least twice. If you added all of their Oscars together, it would be 19, which is shocking considering that only 5 black men have won for Best Actor, each of them once. It wasn't until 1940 that Hattie McDaniel became the first black person to win an Academy Award. She won in the category of Best Supporting Actress for Gone with the Wind. In 1948, James Baskett became the first black man to receive an Academy Award. It was an honorary award for his portrayal of Uncle Remus in Disney's Song of the South. In a 2008 journal, Jennifer Frost exclaims that these films and performances actually drew criticism from many black Americans, including members of the NAACP. Both films take place in the Old South during slavery, and the black characters portrayed fit racist archetypes that date back to minstrel shows and the Jim Crow era. In Gone with the Wind, McDaniel played a servant called Mammy, a fitting name given the mammy stereotype that emerged in American media after the Civil War. According to journalist Max Scott, during this era, whites with few ties to the African American community interpreted minstrel show archetypes as wholly representative of the black race, so it's easy to see how the Academy's recognition of these roles was problematic. In her article, Jennifer Frost suggests that racial tensions before and during the civil rights movement drove some whites in the film industry to try and preserve racial stereotypes. In her 2012 journal, which I mentioned earlier, Edna Quinn lays out some important milestones in terms of film representation that emerged after the civil rights movement, including the success of black actor Sidney Poitier, who became a household name and won the Oscar for Best Actor in 1964, becoming the first black man to do so. In 1969, Gordon Parks Sr. became the first black man to direct a major studio film with The Learning Tree. Despite individual successes such as Poitier and Parks, as well as affirmative action plans introduced in the late 60s, in 1977 black people made up only about 2.8% of the film industry's workforce. So are the Academy Awards institutionally racist? The short answer is yes, as the awards have a long history of exclusivity and lack of representation. The founding members of the Academy were all white, and historically membership has been majority white and male. The Academy has also been responsible for recognizing films that perpetuate racist stereotypes, all while simultaneously underrepresenting black filmmakers and artists. Some major problems concerning the racial politics of the film industry are the perpetuation of stereotypes and whitewashing. In a 2014 journal, Adams, Bass, Stevenson, and Kotzen point out that black characters in media are often controlled by non-black entities, which can lead to racial stereotyping or inaccurate, uninformed portrayals. They also express the long-held concern that black American youth may accept or internalize harmful stereotypes seen on film and television, which can lead to negative self-esteem. In a 2017 article, Shilpa Dave discusses how whitewashing also continues to be a prevalent issue in the film industry. Dave calls out the persistence of racialized accents given to ethnic characters. They also discuss race-neutral characters that are written as white, so when non-white actors are cast, the character doesn't reflect ethnic or racial experiences. They also call out the miscasting of ethnic characters. In a 2014 article, LaTonya Sinclair also discusses casting disparities due to whitewashing, pointing out that approximately 70 to 80% of professional acting roles are intended for white actors. Although race-related issues continued to haunt the Academy and the film industry throughout the late 20th and early 21st centuries, it wasn't until the #OscarsSoWhite movement in 2016 that major national attention was brought to the Academy Awards' lack of inclusion and diversity. The movement was in response to the 2015 and 2016 awards, which featured 0 black nominees in the acting and directing categories. It was a social media movement and a form of hashtag activism. Some notable Hollywood figures, including Spike Lee and Jada Pinkett Smith, boycotted the event. The movement was largely successful and it sparked lots of discussion about diversity and representation in both the Academy and the film industry in general. There have been numerous advancements in diversity and representation in the Academy since 2016. It's worth noting that Cheryl Boone Isaacs was elected as the first black president of the Academy in 2013, which is before the 2016 movement, but important in that Isaacs was on the forefront of demanding change in the industry. After 2016, efforts began to diversify Academy membership. Record numbers of racial minorities and women joined the Academy. Also important was the introduction of inclusion riders, which is a clause that industry stars can put in their contracts that requires diversity in their films and productions. In the 2020s, diversity and inclusion standards became required of Best Picture nominees, so to even be nominated, productions must feature racial minorities in leadership roles, whether that be on or off screen. Finally, innovations in film technology continue to reduce costs and leave potential for more diverse stories that can be made outside of the Hollywood system. So overall, research does show that the Academy and the Academy Awards do have a long history of institutional racism. Yet, the recognition of the Academy's white privilege has sparked recent initiatives that have promoted diversity and inclusion throughout the film industry. That concludes this video. All of the references used are linked below. Thank you.